Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Fiat Ducato build series. This week, very exciting, we are putting in our MaxxAir Fan Deluxe. We went for this unit because it seems to be the best on the market. It'll basically allow us to have appropriate ventilation in the van. So we decided to put this right over where our bed's going to be. We've already got a Dometic micro Hecky in the front, as well as two opening windows. So this will basically allow us to have overall really good ventilation. And this has got a load of features, and yeah, it's going to be a massive advantage for us when we're on the road. I've already gone ahead and built a wooden frame for this to bite into, and it's up on the roof. I've measured as well as checked for any surface rust on the roof that needs treating initially. So yeah, the first step is I need to contour this to the roof of the van to make sure it sits nice when the actual hole is cut out, and then we will get to cut in. So I've had a little think, and I basically don't think I'm going to contour the wooden frame just yet. It's just going to be much easier once the hole's actually cut to then clamp the wooden frame on, mark where I actually need the notches to be cut out, and then go from there. I've already marked out where the hole needs to be, so I'm going to put some pilot holes in and then cut the hole out, and then we'll work at actually contouring that wooden frame to the roof of the van. So I started by drilling a single pilot hole in the middle, just so when I go up on the roof I can actually measure out properly up there. So now what I'm going to do, because there's slightly curved edges on the Maxx Fan insert, I'm going to drill 4 pilot holes in the corners just to give it a nice rounded edge. After I've done that, I'm then going to go up on the roof, trace out what I've already done, and then go at it with a jigsaw. So that's the pilot holes cut. I've double checked my measurements again, and it all looks to be perfectly fine from this end. There's the hole all marked out from above. I am ever so slightly out on this one hole, but it shouldn't matter too much once the actual vent is in. But the other 3 holes are perfect, and there is even space in between everything anyway. So now I'm just going to tape it up with some frog tape and then get to cut in.
Good morning, life. Good morning, sun. How are you? Skies above. Gee, it's great to be alive and love.
So that is the hole cut in the roof. It really didn't go too badly at all. So what I've done now is I've filed the bare metal edge just to take off any sharp metal, and I've also gone over thoroughly on the roof with the hoover just to get off any metal filings, because the last thing I want is to come back to this to clean the roof or put the solar panels up and there's a load of rust on the roof. Next, I need to hammerite the bare metal edge just to stop any rust from where I've actually done the cut, and when that's drying I'm gonna hoover the inside, because silly old me forgot to put a bag underneath before starting. So if anyone is yet to do their Maxx Fan, or any roof light for that matter, before you do so, just attach a bag to the inside just to catch all the metal, so you don't have to do this end bit. As soon as the paint is dried on the hole, I will move on to building up the channels where it's not quite flat with mastic tape. So I will pick you up then. So that's the wooden frame contoured out and glued up in place, ready to accept the internal fixing of the Maxx Fan. So those are clamped in place while the adhesive dries. I'm now up on the roof. The wooden frame has actually done its thing, it's secured. Now I'm in a position where I can actually start building up the roof and then getting the internal fixing into place. So to do that I'm using mastic tape. It's the most commonly used thing for the job. I've got these grooves in the roof which I need to build up, so eventually when I put the fixture in it'll be bedding down into a flat surface. One, it gives it security, and also it would pretty much diminish any risk of leaks.
Good morning, life. Good morning, sun. How are you? Skies above. Gee, it's great to be alive and love. Good morning, sun.
And that's the ring of mastic all done. That was relatively straightforward. It's on there fine now. So that's a nice bed for the actual unit to sit down in. Now we're just going to run some sealant along there, stick it in, and then we will drill some holes. So a bit of a change of plan. The last clip you would have seen of me was putting the mastic stripping on. I did that, and I came to drill the pilot holes, and I realised I didn't have a pilot hole drill bit to actually put the screws in. So what I basically had to do was fit the Maxx Fan temporarily, then basically tape it up overnight so that if it did rain, no water would get through the seams or anything, because it obviously wasn't watertight. And then I had to revisit it today. So I took a trip to B&Q, grabbed the correct pilot hole drill bit, as well as some self-drilling, self-tapping stainless steel screws to replace the ones that actually came with the Maxx Fan, because I just wanted just a little bit more bite and a slightly wider screw head. So it is now the next day, and the fan has gone in. It's in fine now. The wires are through, ready to be wired up. I do want to run a test just to make sure the fan's working. So I'm going to get my portable power pack in here, wire it up temporarily just to, obviously check it's working. Because I had to do this quickly on my lunch break, I didn't film any of it, but I have filmed the fan obviously being in. The main things I really wanted to get done before the clocks change for winter is the two windows, which you can see are both in. I wanted to get the micro hecky in. That has been put in. I just need to put a wooden frame around it, but that is watertight. And finally, get the Maxx Fan in. The clocks are due to go back in the next week, so I'm quite happy with that. Next stage of this fan build, and obviously our next video will be doing the subfloor. I know this has been a bit of a roundabout the way how to install a Maxx Fan. It's in no way an instructional video, it's just how I did it. Obviously there is much more informative videos on YouTube to actually learn how to do it, which is what I did before actually installing this. So I hope you enjoyed. Please do, if you like the video, stick around. There'll be many more to come. This van is far from over, and there will also be some videos of the adventures we go on as well. So yeah, catch you in the next one.